Big Rodg is in the house. Oh wait, theme music. Sorry, theme music. Go ahead.
You ready?
Yes.
Waka chicka 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 waka chicka.
We got to get a budget. we need some kind of budget. Oh my
gosh, it's horrible.
So Big Rodg in the house. Herb the Wise, as you can see on the screen there. And Rod, sorry. Bunch of things. We haven't talked in a while, so we got a bunch.
We haven't talked. It's been a couple of weeks, maybe a month.
Maybe a month. If I could tell time, I would tell you how long it's been, but not one of my strong suits.
Gotcha.
So let's start with NFL because you went to a game last night. Tell us about that.
We did. We went to the Cowboys. My wife and I, me, my wife, and our neighbors went to the Cowboys game last night. It was pretty good experience. We've been to some games before. It was a good game.
Was it only a good game because they won?
Well, it was a good game because they won. It wasn't as competitive as I thought it would be. It started off going back and forth, like interception, interception, and then interception and a fumble recovery for touchdown. But then Dallas's offense started to step it up a little bit, and Jalen just didn't look.
I was going to ask about that.
He didn't look comfortable throwing the deep ball.
Yeah.
I thought it got to a point to where I just thought he was just going to start scrambling more, but he really didn't do that, and he just didn't really get it together. The offense wasn't clicking. He had one good pass to Ertz, whatever, but Devontae Smith wasn't really that effective. So, I mean, the Dallas just played good defense, and something very, very weird happened during the game. So we were sitting in our seats.
I thought you were going to say Dallas scored or they look good, but go ahead.
No. So our neighbors were sitting right behind us, and then about 3 or 4 rows in front of us to the right, there were some fans, and we could tell because they were signing and stuff throughout the game to each other. And at one point in the game, they end up getting into, I don't know how this is possible, an argument with the people sitting in front of them. And everybody that was sitting in front of them were all Cowboys fans.
Right.
The three people that I initially mentioned, 2 of them were Eagles fans and 1 was a Cowboys fan. But like I said, they've been doing sign language. They look pretty amped up. They've been drinking, doing sign language throughout the game, and everybody knew it.
So don't drink and sign.
No. It was just, but they were just amped up. They were just like, yeah, let's go, doing all these type of motions and stuff. Right. But I don't know what happened because I was looking on the field, but then my neighbor's wife, Christina, taps me on the shoulder and she says, "Hey, Rod, Sidney, look over there." And they're arguing. And as I'm looking at them as I'm looking at the Cowboys fans yell at them, I'm just sitting there thinking, how did all this start?
Right. I have questions. I need answers.
Yes, I have so many questions. And then I'm thinking I hope nothing physical happened. The stadium attendees came down, told everybody to cool down. One of the Cowboys fans, there was an older lady, looked like she made sure everybody calmed down. But first question was, how would this even happen? How did this even transpire? Second question is I don't understand why people go to NFL games like this and just get so drunk or whatever, and you get to a point to where you have to fight somebody at a game. I don't get that.
If you're a Philly fan, I can understand it.
That I could. But we actually sat next to a Philly fan. I sat next to him. I talked to him throughout the game. He was pretty cool. He was mad they were losing, but he was cool about it. He was like, we're not playing good, blah blah blah. But when you're going to a game, you want to go have a good experience. But fighting and stuff like that, I don't get that. I mean, there's kids there, etc. And I understand people have been drinking, but if you get to a point where you just can't conduct yourselves in a professional manner or whatever, just don't go to the game.
Yeah, I can't handle people who can't not drink when they're.
I know. Who does that?
I mean, it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean?
It is. It's crazy. But overall, we had a good time. Cowboys won. That was good, and they play Carolina Saturday, so that's going to be a really good game.
Saturday or Sunday?
I mean Sunday. I'm sorry.
Honest thoughts about Dallas going forward. Well, first off, step back. Is it tough being a Dallas fan? Being thrust on it because of where you moved and not kind of grown up and doing it?
Yes, it is. It is because yesterday during the game, whenever they made a good play or whenever anything good happened, I found myself kind of clapping and standing up cheering. But at the same time, it's had it been Alabama or the Miami Dolphins, it would have been a different type of excitement. So
okay. Okay. You brought up something.
Okay.
We have to talk about it.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to give you a statement.
Okay.
And you have to just defend the other side. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Okay?
All right.
Tua is too fragile to be an NFL quarterback. You defend him. Go.
I have to defend Tua?
Yes.
How?
Rodg. Really?
I will.
Okay.
If I'm Tua, I'm thinking we need better offensive protection.
Okay. So it's not his fault. It's the line.
It's not his fault. That's not his fault. I think this past year in the draft, they had an opportunity. Penei Sewell was already drafted, so they couldn't get him. But even after Penei Sewell was drafted, they could have got another offensive tackle. But they said,
would you have gotten one instead of Jalen then?
I would have got Jalen. I'm not gonna lie. I would have got Jalen and said, let's see what we have this year. Utilize him.
So you would have done the same thing they did.
I would have. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm saying after seeing what happened this past game when he got hurt,
right?
You could tell that they just need.
So basically, Jalen should have blocked better on that play.
Nah, they wasn't that play.
They get Waddle. You're a terrible blocker.
but they know going forward now, even with Jacoby Brissett, they need some protection up front.
Okay.
Badly. Going into next year's draft, that need, regardless of who's available, defensive or offensive, they have to get some offensive tackle, somebody to help protect. Without protection, Tua is going to get hurt again.
Right. So,
but I mean, if you look at somebody like Kyler Murray,
do you want to know? Do you want to know question number 2?
Yeah, sure.
The Dolphins should have drafted Herbert over Tua. Wait, before you answer.
Yeah. Okay, so who am I defending?
Go ahead. You're defending
Tua. Who am I defending?
Tua.
If I'm defending Tua,
take off the hat.
I'm saying just look at my resume. Look at what I did at Alabama. Look at what I did at the toughest conference in college football.
You know, Justin Herbert looked pretty good against Kansas City this weekend. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Say it again.
He looked pretty good against Kansas City this weekend. But go ahead.
Who, Herbert?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's on my fantasy team, too.
How did Tua do this weekend?
He was resting.
Just taking a timeout?
I mean, it's hard to defend this one because of Herbert's size.
Right.
Herbert's size, and same with Trevor Lawrence. Both of their size is what's going to have, I think, is what's going to help them have a longer, better, more NFL career. Tua just got hurt, and Tua's going to get hit again a couple more times. I just don't know if he's going to be durable enough to have a long career. I want to see it, not for obvious reasons, but I just don't know.
So does that mean a year from now you wouldn't draft Bryce Young?
Honestly, I don't know about Bryce Young. I like Bryce Young because he's at Alabama, but Bryce Young is not much bigger than Tua.
Right.
And based on the 4 games that I've seen this year, his accuracy isn't as good as Tua. So, like, as far as his upsides compared to Tua, I don't think he's not better than Tua. Now,
interesting. I would like to see, and it's not a fair question because we haven't seen a full season with him.
Right.
But that does make a good transition into. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You think?
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens this Saturday against Ole Miss. And
so you ready to transition into that?
That and it'll be interesting to see what happens this Saturday, and of course if we get to play Georgia in the SEC championship because they have probably the best defense in the country next to us. So it'll be interesting to see how Bryce plays, and he played great against Southern Miss last weekend, but I mean it's Southern Miss, so
right. I don't count that. So let's take this in a couple steps. Okay. First off, overall 4 games for Alabama. If you had to give them a grade, what would you give them?
Bryce Young or the team?
The team.
The team. I say a B-. I would say a B-. There's still some things that I want to see on the offensive side, and defensively, I still think, and this really, really bothers me, especially going into this Saturday game against Ole Miss, is our secondary. It's too many holding penalties. I just don't think our secondary is as strong as it was last year or the year before, but it just seems like there's holes there. So I'm going to say a B-, but there is room for improvement.
Yeah. I agree with that grade. Huh? Okay. No, I agree with that grade. Yeah. Okay. Around a B-. Sounds good. The offense, particularly Florida, this really drops the grade for them. Yeah. But the defense, very inconsistent lately. Too many areas where they've dropped it. I mean, in the second half of Florida, really, I guess the third quarter of Florida was just awful. So that drops the grade, but it'll be interesting. They do get Ole Miss at home. Can you believe where the line opened up? Alabama minus like 14.
I was surprised at that. It was like 14.5, right?
Yeah.
I was surprised at that because I think the game's going to be closer than that. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be like Alabama by a touchdown.
Which is weird because it was, they beat him by more last year.
What was the score last year? I completely forgot.
Like 63-48.
63. Okay. I think it's going to be pretty much similar to that.
Which would cover the spread, though.
Yeah, I know it would, but I don't know if we're going to get 63.
Yeah.
So I'm
are they going to get
48? Huh?
Are they going to get 48?
That's what I'm saying. I'm banking on us stopping them from getting 40. I think they're going to get about 40. I think it's going to be like a 41-35 type game. It's going to go back and forth, but it's going to come down to something I think around the third quarter, Alabama's going to get a stop that they really, really needed, and then we're going to push forward, kind of like what we did last year.
Right. And this one will be interesting for me because these two quarterbacks going into the game are the two Heisman favorites right now. I don't know if you've seen that. So obviously whoever wins this, they get a leg up in that competition. Unless, both of them just show out, then the loser, it won't matter. But it'll be very interesting because I do, your wins and losses do connect to your Heisman odds at the end of the year. And I know there's been some, like Manziel, who didn't win the whole thing, but still won the Heisman, and Lamar Jackson. But at the end of the day, you would like to think that whoever wins this game steps ahead. Here's another question for you, though, regarding Alabama, of course.
Yeah.
Should Georgia be ranked number 1 right now?
No, because Alabama hasn't done anything to lose the number 1 spot. The one close game we played, we went on the road, played an SEC team, and they were ranked number 11. And we beat them. We didn't beat them 45-17 or whatever like we wanted, but we did win that game on the road. So we haven't done anything to relinquish the number 1 spot. So I'm fine with that.
Right. And I guess the other part of that is the win against Clemson looks worse every day.
It looks a lot worse. Now Clemson has Clemson's 2-2, and I'm going to go on record saying this: Clemson's going to lose another game this year.
Oh, definitely,
regular season game. I'm not familiar with the ACC, so I don't know if they lose another one. I don't think, and you may have said this, I don't think they'll qualify for the championship game. Correct?
Well, NC State, I believe, is on the same side as them. So they right now, which I think will happen anyway, but they need NC State to lose twice already. So that's where you're starting at for them.
Okay.
Just to reach the ACC championship game.
Because I think Clemson plays Boston College Saturday.
Correct.
College is
which some are already calling for the Boston College win there.
I'm calling Boston College in that game. I'm saying it right now. It's on record. I'm going to go with Boston College with the upset, I'm going to go ahead and say this too. You take a look at what Saban has been able to do since 2007 and how he's been able to sustain this dynasty. And look what happens 1 year after Trevor Lawrence leaves. Everything's gone downhill.
Yep. And do you think it's just Trevor Lawrence leading, or do you think it's the running back leading?
I think it's Trevor Lawrence. I think it's the running back, ATN leading.
ATN, yep.
Yeah, and from what I saw in the North Carolina State game, they just offensively, it's like they just don't throw the ball as much. So I do think a big part of it is Trevor Lawrence leaving.
I would agree with that. So you go from Deshaun Watson to Lawrence to DJ, and it just seems like the drop off has all of a sudden been huge.
Right, and I think DJ was a 5-star coming out of college, so I just thought he would just take over the helm easily, but they just can't put up points. And like I said, I think they're going to lose this Saturday to Boston College. I'm calling for the upset.
I like it. We'll have to do a pick segment Monday morning, real quick.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
Saturday.
I think that was morning? Saturday morning.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you said Monday morning. My bad.
Why would we do a pick second on Monday morning? So you can get them all right?
Yeah, right.
If we'd pick the games on Monday morning from the past weekend, I'd probably still get some wrong, just to be honest.
That's sure. It's hard to keep up with some of these.
So what's your outlook for Alabama for the rest of the season? What do you really predict from them?
Part of me wants to say we're going to go undefeated. Part of me really wants to say we're going to go undefeated, but part of me is kind of pulling me on the left side saying we're going to lose the game and then win the SEC championship. So it's going to
be tougher.
I'm split 50-50.
You're picking us to lose, like let's say Arkansas wins, then Arkansas has to lose twice for us to pass them. So it's
right.
Now, Arkansas does have Georgia, but we'll talk about this weekend. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think Georgia's going to. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Raj, that was a quick NFL segment, college football segment, getting caught back up. You got anything else you want to add before we go?
No, No, actually, not sports wise. No, I think we're good. Roll Tide. I'm very excited about this game Saturday. It's actually a pretty good slate of games this Saturday compared to last Saturday. So I'll be watching a lot of them.
Was kind of trash. So
yes, it was trash. I forgot who the 11 o'clock. There's a good 11 o'clock game this.
Arkansas and Georgia is 11.
Okay, Arkansas, Georgia, and I think Cincinnati.
Which is kind of a travesty to get a game like that at 11 o'clock. Like, what is this, Jefferson Pilot all over again? Come on, that should be a 2:30.
Well, when they planned it, they were probably
game.
looking at the schedule like Georgia's going to kill Arkansas, but now it's like Arkansas's defense is really, really good. But I still think Georgia wins by 2 or 3 touchdowns. To be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I think I got Georgia by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Yeah, and the rest of the slate,
hey,
BC and Clemson is at 6:30, and of course Alabama plays at 2:30. So, but it's an interesting slate. Like I said, we'll do a pick segment and pick some games this weekend.
Okay, cool. Sounds
okay.
Good.
Anything else you want to say before the little lady gets in your ear and tells you we're signing off?
Out of all the 14 teams in our fantasy football league, this is not a fantasy for me. Guess who's 0-3? The only winless team in the whole league that my brother invited me to, and I'm in dead last. Who is that, guys? I am dead last. And I've had 3 trade offers today. Everybody trying to get Amari Cooper, and I've told all the 3 of them, I'm not giving up Amari Cooper yet. Like, he's after Herbert, he usually gives me the most points.
But are they offering you a good stuff for him?
It's not bad. It's not like insulting trades, but it's just like what they're offering me is just not what I need.
Right.
So it doesn't add up. I look at the projected points that they're offering me. I'm like, bro, I can't give up Amari Cooper. I'm gonna be worse off than I am now.
Even though he could have won you the game last night, he didn't come through.
I mean, even honestly, he had to give me like 40 points yesterday. I was fine. So even if he had a good night last night, it wouldn't have been good enough. I lost the game. So.
Did you call him? Basically, you needed him to throw a touchdown pass to himself.
I did not call him. I needed him to do everything.
He needed to kick the kick, tell him to get in on defense.
So I'm gonna take a look at the team tomorrow. I think who plays Thursday night? Isn't it like this Bengals and the Jaguars or something?
Who's picking these Thursday night games?
Well,
yeah, Bengals
Thursday night games have always been pretty
Bengals
pretty
and
crappy. So. Okay, yeah, I don't have anybody on those teams, but I'll look at my team tomorrow and kind of see what I can do because I cannot afford another loss. I looked at my week 4
Thursday
matchup.
night games are trash, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I looked at my week 4 matchup and the guy I'm playing. I'm right now for projected points. I'm down. I'm supposed to lose by 2 points, which is the smallest
margin that you've lost by.
Smallest margin I've had. So I think I have a good chance of winning this one, but like. We'll see what happens Sunday and Monday. I mean, you never know. I just look at my projected plays. I'm like, okay, this is who I think I should play, and I'm in dead last. This is so embarrassing. I'm glad these people don't know me like personally. I couldn't take it.
You know, you didn't have to tell everybody this.
I don't care. It is what it is.
Okay.
This is the price of fame.
All right, Raj. Well, it was good talking with you, bud.
Yeah, great.
You gonna do the outro music?
Actually, not tonight. I'm not fantasy stuff.
Well, we're just signing off.
Bam, bam.
And good night, all. Bye.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.